Hello, friends. This video is about a question, or rather a concept. There are lot of hundreds of, or maybe millions, thousands articles, blogs, and videos and websites about the concept of time traveling. Now, everybody is talking about that. Some movies have been made on that. Some of them are very favorite of mine and my wife, Dr. Manisha. In fact, in my life, in 22 years relationship with Dr. Manisha, I would use the term timelessness. We both have experienced very unique, weird, divine times. What exactly is time, by the way? And whenever we think about our life, we think about the Kate and Leopold, one of the best movies we have experienced and enjoyed. Then there is one more movie, Time Traveler's Wife. Fourth movie is Adjustment Bureau. Adjustment Bureau has a very, you know, very deep influence on our life, because what has been shown the director in Adjustment Bureau, a Hollywood film, we have experienced that. But we'll talk about that later. Okay, what is time, and why we should call the mind traveling and not the time traveling? Okay, if time is a physical entity, it's a physical product, or it's a physical, it's a matter, in the context of physics, then it should not travel, because the material things don't travel, right? The stone doesn't travel from one point to another point. As per the first law of motion, the matter cannot move itself unless you apply an external force on it, or it cannot be stopped in the motion unless you apply an external force on it. That's the first law of Newton. If the matter start moving, I'm not talking about the gravitational force here. If the matter is transferring or traveling on its own, then it will break the first law of motion, isn't it? Now, in Einsteinian physics, his postulate that the if a matter crosses the velocity of light, which is 3 lakh kilometer per second, that matter will be converted into energy, that is equal to E is equal to mc square. Fortunately, I don't have to explain all these things, because there are a lot of things on Google, and we are living in such a world, where everything is going subjective and oversimplified. There was a time, then 30 years before, when I used to learn these things from Swami Vijnanananda, who had published a book and who is the founder of New Age philosophy, and who is the first sannyasi or first person in the human history who has defined the mind in terms of the speed of light in 1958. And if you are curious about that, please go on Google, and what mind means, read the book and Mind Power about Swamiji's original research and fundamentals about this concept, or how he proved it, that mind can travel beyond the light. And so all I'm saying is this, that it's not the time traveling, it's the mind traveling. Okay. The second thing is that a lot of people connect the concept of time with the past, future, and current. But time is a continuous process. It don't have past, future, current. It's a continuum process. And Einstein has categorically proved that space and time are intertwined. They are entangled, right? They cannot be separated. And not only that, the light can affect the time, the light can affect the space. But more on that, Swamiji has proved undoubtedly that mind can affect both. Now, there is a lot of discussion is going on about the consciousness, but consciousness is not an object; it's a different entity. It's a process. Okay. There is one more book by Stephen Hawking, a short brief history of time. And it is a generally accepted postulate in the scientific fraternity that there was a big bang 15 billion years before, and then everything started with that. And the universe has created within the next or the first 3 minutes. Okay, there are a lot of videos on YouTube. You can go. Even scientists have published their videos. Brian Greene has given wonderful explanations. You just see the Brian Greene. He's from the Arizona University, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then Fred Allen Wolf, who has written the book of Yoga of Time Travel. You should read these books, two books. They are very excellent books. By the way, there are very funny online courses and websites and blogs on time traveling. Even my younger friend, he's not friend, but YouTuber friend, you can say, Dhruva Rathi has published a video on time traveling. Okay, and he has given very weird analogy about that. That if a person goes beyond the speed of light, he will go into the past, and then he will meet his parents and grandparents and kind of thing. Well, we should not do that. Dhruva, you're a good YouTuber. You just recently married. You're a very beautiful couple. But I just give me word, Dhruva. Don't go into the past. Okay, please live in the moment. Enjoy the life. Okay. And there is one more thing. If the world is universe, and we don't know even this is real universe or not, whether it is simulation, like the pilot learn or take the training in the simulator. Maybe this world itself is a simulation. We don't know. We are just exploring. So, and science doesn't, you understand, science never give verdict, because then when it gives the final verdict, it becomes religion. So science is all about exploring, breaking the boundaries. Science is not, if somebody comes in the tomorrow and say, oh, this is the final word I have got, or this is the final statement, now there is nothing uh, to discover or explore in the science, then he's not a scientist. In 17th century itself, everybody, now almost all scientific fraternity, especially the Royal Society of India, England, had decided there is nothing to find out. Edison had done, Newton has done that, but then Einstein came. After Einstein, people said there is nothing to find. Then quantum mechanics came. So science is all about exploring. Okay. My fundamental question is this: if there was nothing before the Big Bang, what was there? There has to be something, right? Because nothing comes out of nothing. It's not acceptable logically or mathematically in scientific fraternity or even the scientific concept, right? So what was there? Now there was a Sham Benegal's TV serial Bharat Ek Khoj. उसका in the beginning there was a title song. इस पृथ्वी से पहले क्या था, what was before the earth, there was no kal, there was no akash. Huh? What was there? If you compare two ideas of the Vedas and the Big Bang theory, what was there? Now here comes the new age philosophy, here comes the Swami Vidyanan. What Swami Vidyanan had given an angle to it, that there was a universal mind. Okay, and mind itself is entity. Mind not it's a product, or it's not energy only. It's a separate entity. I had talked about that in my previous video, and I will keep continuing and exploring the minds and different dimensions of the mind. So what Swamiji had said, that mind, universal mind was there. It was its sankalpa to create the world universe, and that mind has created time and space. And that is one of the reasons why the universe is expanding, because if that is a material, if that is a metal, it should not expand, right? Then it will again break the law of the first law of the motion. So it is the mind which is expanding the universe, and it is the mind which has created the time and space. If you've come to the basic basic terms, you know basic terms of these ideas and concepts, then you'll come to the that it's not about time traveling, it's about the mind traveling. Okay, and take an example. You can do yourself an experiment. You just sit on the couch or table or wall or anywhere, just sit, close your eyes, control your, focus on your breathing. You will also feel, of course you need some practice, but you will feel the sense of timelessness. Initially it will take some your body itself will irritate because the mind has a tendency to move around, explore things, enjoy things. It creates gati action to achieve the sukha for a body. And fixing the mind and body, it itself is a, it's a meditation, it's a yoga and sadhana. But I will keep that part apart from right now, as of now, because it's a part of, study, learning, and by the way, meditation is not just sitting. You can just go working, you can exploring things, and still your mind can be in meditative state. So that is altogether a different subject. My point is that if you can bring the mind into body, and if you control its speed, control its desires, control its, you will feel, you know timelessness. And that's one of the reason, and that's one of the process, and that's one of the experiences you might have all got some or other time in your life. Even deep sleep is also slowing down the time. And who is slowing down? It is the mind which is slowing down. And that's why, my dear friends, you have to understand, it's not the time traveling, it's the mind traveling. Okay. I hope you get the some clarity kind of in the context of time traveling and mind traveling. And this is my first video. I'm going to explain some terms and ideas and concepts, uh, like the intuition. When you say the intuition, it's beyond time, right? Because if you are physically here, and if you are experiencing something which is not in the surrounding part, it's about mind traveling. It means that you're sitting here, but your mind is traveling some or kind of resonating somewhere else. And that's one of the reason that time itself doesn't travel. Okay, guys. So there are five takeaways. Time time is, and space both are entangled. First, both are a different entity, and that's why we cannot call it as a matter or non-matter. They are neither consciousness. They are different entity, and they can be influenced by the mind, and it's not the other way around. Okay, one thing. Second thing, the third thing is that you can create, your mind can create timelessness. Fourth, there is nothing as such past, future, or current, present. These are the concept developed by our mind and our understanding of the nature. You can be at the same time in all the three phases, which has no barriers as such. Only the mind has created those barriers. Okay. And the fifth thing is that the nature has its own time cycle, day and night cycles. In nature, there are no day and night. We humans have treated that way. Now there are planets are moving; they have their own cycles. In our body, the organs has rhythmic cycles. There are rhythms, different kind of rhythm, and then we consider it as a it's a, connected with the time. But time again is not connected with that processes. They're processes by nature, designed by nature, and we have just tried to apply it to understand those processes. And that is one of the reasons that we should not make mistakes. There are two things, different things. The point number seven and final is that takeaway that, okay, guys, if you are very curious about the mind traveling, please study Swami Vidyananda's New Philosophy. Be connected with me. There is my website, app, and YouTube. We'll both keep exploring, and I will also explain you how mind travel, how our how we should train our mind to travel, how your mind, that is a sensational claim I'm making, how your mind can grasp the knowledge without you physically going there. It can happen. Thank you very much for listening. Bhaskar Joshi here. Thanks.